G'day guys and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And in today's video we're going to be discussing AFL Trade Rumours 2024. Obviously last video on the channel didn't go to plan. I said why the Hawks beat the Power. Obviously we all know the result there. The Hawks lost, look like a bit of an idiot now, but won't go into that too much because I'm still hurting after the game, but it is what it is. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some trade rumors. We got 11 trade rumors, I'm pretty sure. I've counted them all up. This is going to be part one. I'll do a part two if this video goes alright. Um, Leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, I've left a few trade rumors out of this video for maybe part two before the trade period. I've left Dan Rioli and Shea Bolton out. I've probably forgotten about a lot of other obvious ones as well. Um, but yeah, let's get into the video. So the first rumor I've got is Jack McCrae going to St Kilda Football Club. Now, this I think is going to happen very, very, very likely. Um, he's requested a trade to the Saints. He's hasn't really been getting a look in all year for the Doggies, and I think he just is a bit frustrated, as he probably should be. I think he is a bit of a better player than being subbing out of the side in the VFL. James Harm's got a gig over him in the elimination final, which was a bit stiff, I thought, and so did he, I think. So yeah, he's requested a trade to the Saints, and I think he will be going there. The next one from the Giants is Isaac Cuming. Now he wants to go to back to SA. I think he did nominate SA Club. I don't think he's nominated the Crows yet, but he's strongly linked to the Adelaide Football Club. They're linked to a few players this off season. I think they want to get busy. Obviously, they didn't have the best of seasons this season, so they'll want to be improving. And to do that, they'll have to bring in a few players like Isaac Cuming. I think he's pretty underrated for the Giants. He doesn't get much talk at all, but I think from what I've seen of him, he's solid enough. He can't be too bad because nobody, says he's terrible. He just doesn't get talked about at all. So yeah, I think he'll be a handy addition for the Crows. Now another one linked to the Crows, and this is almost 100%, is Neal Bullen. Now he's going to go back home. He said that before the season even ended. He's just a bit homesick, I think, and he wants to get back to his family in SA. And I think everyone wants to leave Melbourne at the moment, to be fair. But yeah, he wants to go to Adelaide. I think this one should get done. Um, but yeah, we'll have to see what the Crows have to give up for him. Otherwise, he'll go to Port, but I think he's almost 100% going to go to Adelaide. Speaking of Port, I've got Port Adelaide's Dan Houston down, linked to Carlton. Look, he's strongly linked to Carlton, but he's also linked to a few other clubs like the Saints. I don't think that's going to happen. He's also linked to the Pies and a few other clubs. Victorian. He wants to come back home. I think he did come out and say he wants to stay at Port, but then the media is just saying that he wants to leave again. So I don't know. I think he actually might stay. I reckon he's a 70% chance to leave though, because everyone says that he's going. But I think he did come out and say that he wants to stay. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. I think at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to what teams offer Port Adelaide for Houston. I think Carlton will prepare a big deal and get this one done, but we will have to see. Now, the next one that's almost certain to happen is Tom Barrass to the Hawks. Tom Barrass is a good defender for the Eagles from what I've seen. Um, he's very, I think what makes him so good is Jeremy McGovern, though. Having McGovern alongside him makes him a better player. But he's been a gun defender for the Eagles in a really, really, really bad team. He's held up. So hopefully for the Hawks, he can come in and do a really, really, really good job. And yeah, he is almost 100% because he's linked to the Hawks. I think the Hawks will have to give up their first pick, which I think we will do. And then maybe Denver, Granger Brass, and then maybe we get a second rounder back. It will be interesting, but I think Tom Barrass will end up at the Hawks. Next one, which has happened a bit more recently, is Matt Kennedy linked to Collingwood. Now, apparently he's been told by the Blues that he can explore his options because I think Matt Kennedy sees himself as an inside mid. However, he's not going to get a go in an inside mid for the Blues. I think he wants to stay at the Blues. He's happy to stay, but he might end up going if the Pies or another team like that can give him a clear role into an inside mid, because at the moment he's just being shopped around all over the place. He got subbed out before half time against the Lions in that elimination final. So yeah, this one will be very interesting. My gut feel is that he will stay, but we will have to see. Now Josh Battle, he's been linked to the Hawks. He's nominated the Hawks. I think this is the one that's genuinely 100%, because he's a free agent. He can essentially walk for free. I think the Saints might get a compensation pick, which is pick 8, I believe. But we'll have to see I think it means what the offer is, but I'm not an expert. I'll have to do some research maybe. But yeah, I think this will be a really, really, really good pickup for the Hawks. Um, yeah, I think with him and Barras coming, it's going to be massive. Um, I don't know. It's going to be a massive selection squeeze in our backline. I've seen Frost is linked to the Swans. He's not in this video, but that'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe he for part 2. Um, but yeah, back to Josh Battle. He's been an underrated defender for the Saints, I think. He doesn't get much talk. I think he might be a bit of an average player, but I reckon the Hawks can do what D'Ambrosio did to him and make him come in and play really, really, really good footy. For the Hawks, he can also swing forward. I think he kicked 2 goals against the Hawks this season, and he looks really, really, really good up forward. So yeah, we'll have to see. Now we got Jack Darling to the North. Darling has requested a trade to the Kangaroos. I think he's 31 years of age. He might get a 2-year contract. That's the word coming out of this deal. For pick 64, he's on big money, I think, Jack Darling. So I think North might pay most of that and then get pick 64 in return. That's what's linked to him. Look, this one's a very interesting one because North need veterans, but Jack Darling's an interesting one for mine. Looks like it's going to get done. He's going to partner up with Nick Larkey, which will be handy for the Roos and Nick Larkey. Look, if the Roos can get 25 to 30 goals and play most games out of them, they would be very happy with getting Jack Darling. Now on to Bailey Smith. He's nominated to leave the Bulldogs. He's requested a trade. He hasn't said where, but he's very, very strongly linked to the Cats and Cardinia Park. I think that would really suit his lifestyle well. Um, and yeah, it would be a good move for him. He's been out all season with an ACL, but I think he should go to the Cats. It'd be a good move. There's also some other options like the Pies, the Hawks, are a bit linked. But I think he'll end up at the Cats, and I reckon he'll play his best footy in his career. Now we got Liam Baker from the Tigers to the Eagles. Now I think he will go back home to Perth. I think he's more likely to go to the Eagles. Um, I think he's requested a trade. I could be wrong in saying that, but he still could stay at the Tigers. However, I think he will go back home to WA. So yeah, I think he'll be a very handy pickup for their struggling team like the West Coast. Obviously, I think he did play in a flag or two at the Tigers. Could be wrong in saying that, but yeah, he's a very handy player, underrated. He's tough. Yeah, he's not scared of the footy, that's for sure. So I think he will be a good addition to the Eagles. Now we got Luke Parker to North Melbourne. Now, Parker, he's a veteran. Again, like Darling, the Roos need some veterans. And I think this one's more unlikely. I think it's maybe 40% chance he goes to North. But look, if North can offer Sydney something really good and offer some big money to Luke Parker for maybe 2, 3, 4 years even. He could be really good. We've seen what he can do as a forward this season for Sydney, even though he hasn't played a lot of games, which also could be a good thing. He'll be nice and fresh. But look, I think we're going to hear more about this one either be shut down or him requesting a trade after Sydney season's finish, which obviously they could win a flag. Filming this the day before their big prelim final. But yeah, this will be a very interesting one to see what happens. My gut feel is that he will stay at Sydney, but yeah, if North can get him, that would be extremely good for them to get a big name like Luke Parker. So if you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will hopefully be soon. And then maybe in 2 more weeks, I'll do a part 2, maybe sooner, maybe a bit later. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.